I'm Christopher Russell. I have a law degree, but I am not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. My law degree cost about $150,000. That is not money that I had, and it's not money that most Americans have. So I'm interested in helping to explain some of the foundational principles of our legal system to you for free. Your first year of law school is called 1L. It's 1L of a time. Sorry, that's a terrible joke. In 1L, you learn civil procedure, contracts, criminal law, constitutional law, and torts. Torts are anything that involve injury to you or your property. One of the weirdest things about 1L torts is you read a lot of cases about train accidents. Turns out, if you have money, you're more likely to get involved in litigation. And who had money back in the 1800s? Train companies. Throughout these videos, I'll be explaining foundational concepts of law, the kind of stuff that you would learn as a law student. I'm not going to pretend, and if the American Bar Association is listening, I am not saying that that is a replacement for law school. In every jurisdiction throughout the United States, you need a law degree in order to take the bar and become a lawyer. There are very few exceptions, and they mostly involve actually working with lawyers, but you will be doing essentially the equivalent of law school. Personally, I don't think that that's the best idea in the world. A significant portion of the reason why that is the policy is because lawyers get to protect their own profession. If you could work hard enough, study enough, and you had enough gusto to pass the bar without law school, I think you should be able to practice. After all, if there's a test to get in, why is there also multiple years of education for pre-clearance for the test? That's a topic for another day. Speaking of which, if you see this video and you would like to hear about something specific, any legal topic, whether historical or contemporary, please comment and let me know. I'm more than happy to answer specific questions about legal issues that you have faced, whether in the past or currently. However, I can only speak about them speculatively. I am not a lawyer. I am not your lawyer, but people don't always get lawyers. That's another theme that will keep coming up as I continue to make more videos. Access to the law is access to justice. This is not strictly speaking legal advice, but it's as close as I'm willing to get. If you are injured, and that includes property, right? If you're in a car crash and your car is damaged, but you are fine, they may not be paying your medical bills, but they will pay to fix your car, assuming you win. Here's the advice. If someone offers you a settlement before you have legal representation, you take that piece of paper, you say, "Thank you so much, I'll be in touch." Don't sign anything, and you get your butt to a lawyer's office, because they will take that case lickety-split. If they are offering you a settlement before you have even secured legal representation in anticipation of trial, you probably have them by the short and curlies. These are topics about which I am incredibly passionate. I am not a lawyer, but the reason that I'm not a lawyer is because I care too much. I care too much about hypothetical clients. I care too much about preserving my sanity. The stories that we would read in cases throughout law school were frequently heartbreaking. I am an odd duck, and my time in law school was very consistent with being an odd duck. One of the things that made me odd is I would, throughout our exploration of cases, particularly in contracts and torts, I would look to see how much these old cases translated to in modern dollars. Very roughly, if something happened in the 1960s, it was worth 10 times more than what a dollar was worth when I was in law school just a couple years ago. It's even more now. So when we would read a case, for example, about a woman who was defrauded, she bought lessons at a dance studio, and then there was some conflict and her coach wasn't available anymore. It was a whole mess. She was pursuing litigation to get money back for dance lessons she bought that she was never going to use. That sounds fairly trivial. It was not. We were reading that case because in law school you read appellate cases. You don't read district court documents in law school, not for your case books. Your case books are full of appellate cases, which means that a case was already decided. In this woman's instance, I believe that she was awarded a refund by the district court. That's the trial court, the first place that you go. The case was appealed, to the best of my recollection, by the studio, who didn't want to pay her the refund that she was owed. She had paid more than $500,000 in 2023 dollars to this dance studio in advance in order to reserve future lessons she anticipated taking with this particular instructor. And she had $500,000 from an insurance payout after her husband died. She was lonely, and she took solace in who she saw as a friend, a younger man, dancing instructor at this studio, who took her for a ride, who sold her lessons she was never going to be able to take. It was thousands of hours worth of dance lessons, knowing that she would never be able to take them, and taking her money anyway. The world is full of cruel and inexplicable acts, abhorrent behavior by regular old people, people who let their own greed, their own selfishness, their own narcissism, they let all of those things turn them into monsters. Going to law school, I saw too many monsters, and you would think that maybe that might inspire me to help. It has. This is how I want to help. I want to talk to you. I want you to share with your friends and your family the things that I have to say, help you understand, help you have some context about the way things work, the world that we actually live in. That's how I want to help, because I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Thank you for watching.